And now, Thomas, so we kind of talked about the cost center aspects of training and how we address that stuff. And I think Tom Maher was right on the mark. You have to have the buy-in, has to be a relevant topic. What are some of those things from, because obviously you're sitting up at the C-suite and you get a bird's eye view, if you will, of balancing the cost of training by production. So how do you balance that?
That's always, one of the biggest challenges, because I remember back, before getting into the service company side of things, or NADA accredited company side of things, where I worked for Mega and had done some trainings and everything with the AVO Training Institute, which most people are very familiar with. And obviously, it was a very different atmosphere and everything there. I mean, people are lining up, they're paying you to come to your door to come in and take your classes and so forth. And, a lot of my understanding of training and how you build programs and training and everything was to accommodate this type of environment. Now, back in those days, we were starting to get hit up with a little bit of the cost of travel, to be able to send somebody a week out of the office, per diems, flights, hotels, the whole nine yards. But we were still way pre-COVID and everything. And I mean, only us real renegades were playing around with that intranet thing, and doing virtual stuff with it. It really wasn't mainstream. I think COVID really helped accelerate a lot of that concept. But when I first took my first position as a training manager for a NEDA accredited company, the walls of reality really started to come crashing in, because I'm used to the little more old school sage on the stage. People come into the classroom, there's that great interaction, camaraderie, live discussions and so forth. And now all of a sudden from the cost center, well, those are not billable hours. We need so many billable hours. I mean, payroll's got to be able to flow, et cetera, et cetera. But I've already been kind of involved, early adopter into YouTube and creating videos and stuff like that. So I started laying out a program with more of the e-learning approach to, and the way, and here's where getting the corporation in your buy-in, but also getting their understanding of the tools. So I'm saying we use the e-learning and so forth as a means of transferring information out there, giving them assignments, having them work within their schedules in order to earn their classroom time. So when we do bring them into the classroom, one, the classroom is balanced. We don't have the guys with huge experience, the guys that don't even know how to ask a question because they're so new to the subject matter. We level that a little bit with the e-learning and so forth. So, and then post classroom, you want to protect that investment because you just spent a lot of money. And I think somebody alluded to this, so you took that information, you learned it, and you don't do anything with it for like 30 days or whatever. You forgot 80% of what you just learned. So I kind of look at it as the e-learning as the two loaves of bread with the substance and the hardiness in the middle. That's the classroom and the hands-on training. Well, it's interesting, when you're trying to get the corporate level buy-in and everything, because, it's like radio dials on the ear. They heard no travel, no cost, no per diem, transfer this information. All of a sudden, a lot of that white noise generator went amplified when we got to the middle section about earn your way into the classroom, take them out of the field on the job training. And then they reheard again, for the back end. Oh, and now we could do it this e-learning approach. So getting the message clear that, it's not a one size fits all, but there's different avenues to approach the training, and they all have an area of importance into getting that knowledge out there, sustaining that knowledge that's out there. And kind of going back into that culture, this was also the big aspect of all of it, was getting the buy-in culture at the top, that this was a program that they felt comfortable with and were going to support. But then the mid-level was critical because I remember early attempts, the message and everything to the mid-level, you were still hammering production, production, production. So me as the production manager, everything that you're talking about in training is now in conflict to me. So how do I get that person to buy into it? So once it was written into like company policy, and part of the production manager's evaluation yearly was, okay, how did we do on P&L, on the jobs and the management and so forth? But as part of that, how did you do on your responsibility to company policy and making sure that ample training hours were distributed and you got that part done? Once we got that mid-level buy-in, things started to click and fall into place because now we had a top-down flow. The project managers were not sourballing it by saying, "Oh, for God's sakes, Tom, would you just take that stupid training class and get that training department off my back? I know it's a waste of time, but go and get that done for me, would you, pal?" Now, if that's the way your boss is communicating to you, do you see value in the training? Do you see it as worth your time and effort? No. But when they start endorsing and saying, "Hey, this is owed to you," so now we sell it to the staff as, "This is owed to you. You deserve this. You're owed this education." So now we kind of have a ground up, top down push. So during yearly evaluations, employees are coming back to the table saying, "Well, you let me down. You owed me this amount of training. I didn't get it." We have top down. "Hey, you let the employees down. You didn't get this training worked into the schedules." So there's kind of, again, that meeting in the middle where everybody is seeing the importance and everything to it. And going back to the original, the cost structure, we're controlling the cost of the major investment where we bring them out of the field into classroom and so forth by padding the path into the classroom. You've done your assignments, you showed the willingness and everything, so you're going to get the first right of refusal to go in those classes. The guy that had the 3 months or 4 months to do the assignments didn't even bother getting around to it. Okay, if you're content with just being the apprentice on the job and everything, and that's how, okay, fine, but I'm not going to invest money to send you into a classroom just for the instructor to babysit you. Yeah. You've got to show that you want to be in there as well. And then having the e-learning on the back end to kind of reinforce, because we forget things that, if we don't get to apply them on a regular basis. So that was kind of, how we kind of managed selling it to the C-levels, the cost aspect of it, and how we were going to control and protect those investments